Okay. I think that may have helped. Apparently, I was downscaling. Um, so that's interesting. Don't know why I would have been doing that. Ew, the Twitch mobile app is terrible. What the fuck? Why does it look so bad? Oh, it's 1080p, baby. Woo! We'll see if my computer can handle it. All right. Into the video game. Maybe I should move my little character up some. Boop. 2, 1. Damn, that was a tree. Okay, so now I think everything should be unblocked. Actually, is the controller thing blocking something? No, cool. Awesome. Look at that. Wow. I feel like it's a little cluttered, but that's fine. A little bit of clutter never hurt nobody. Oh, that was really bad. Okay, I'm actually gonna practice skipless, no major glitches because recently someone found a glitch where you could kind of like where you could hold on. I'm trying to brain, but my brain isn't working. Where you could kind of like do this and fucking slam back here and then shoot you into first. Like someone recently found this and it's like, damn it, like that's not. So anyway, this is the thing now. Um, and if you're doing all major glitches, then you know that's annoying. So unfortunately, I'm assuming that'll be allowed. Like I'm looking at it, and if you're in any percent and you're looking at the rules, the any percent rules are um like the rules are category rules. Oh, this is hold on, fuck. This is so annoying. Okay. Midnight motor, show rules, category rules. Get the fastest lap possible. That was really loud. Like it doesn't matter what, fastest lap wins. So, and that's in any percent. And you know, like complete the track without any following glitches or skips. Placeholder. Thanks, guys. So anyway, the fact that I could finish the entire race in about 30 seconds means that that's going to be the strategy. Strategy be like, all right, guys, here we go, super hardcore speed run, go go go. This is gonna be so hard. Oh, I'm in first. Oh my god. Oh, there's the lap. Oh, why did I stop? Oh, I was not pressing the gas. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god, this race is so hard. Oh my god. Oh my god, the race is so hard. Oh my god. So anyway, this is theoretically the new no or the new any percent route, and that's fucking stupid. So, um, yeah, I guess it'll be no major glitches, no major skips, which means the jump skip and the forest skip are out, I think. Um, Unfortunately, the rules literally don't say. Um, So that's really annoying. Yeah, so that's annoying. Like, yeah, like I run when I want to, but I don't want to just. But you know, I actually do really enjoy doing it the normal way. Um, that was one of the things that was one of my problems with the forest skip, is that first area is actually a lot of fun. Like just like all the beautiful drifting and shit. It's great. I wonder if, I wonder what double boosting will. Shit, that was because like it's not really major. It's really easy. A lot of times, major glitches is like something. Oh, I am rusty. Is like something like truly game breaking. To be fair, it has been like 2 weeks. Um, and uh, oh, oh, that was bad. I am so rusty. Holy fuck. So I do believe that that skip will be outlawed for being a skip, and that's fine. Um, tis the nature of speedrunning to have rules. Um, Otherwise, you get anarchy and people doing dumb shit that wouldn't be allowed. And beautiful. I'm so good at that one. Oh god, I'm so good at this game. What? Okay, I was not backing up. Okay, there we go. So anyway, they, I'm so conflicted because they had like 2 weeks of the leaderboards being closed, and I have no fucking idea what they spent the time doing. Like, I'm looking at it and it's like, okay, you guys had these 2 weeks in which to litigate rules and all these things, and obviously rules litigation is tough when things are constantly changing. People are learning new things about the game, daily. Oh, that one really bad at that one. And you need to kind of like figure out like, okay, do we want to do boost lists, which is, I don't know who in their right mind would ever run boost lists in a Mario Kart-esque game. That sounds like it wouldn't be very fun. And especially, it would be fine on other maps, but Midnight Motorist specifically, it would be really bad on. Like, by nature of that highway segment. And I guess it also counts as, what counts as one of the boosts in which you are no longer allowed to do. Oh god, that's Endo. Like, oh, I got that beautifully the first time, and then every other time I fucked it up entirely. Bro, other racers, bro. Anyway, it would be nice if the no major glitches, what glitches they count as major glitches and what is allowed and isn't, was kind of already decided on. Because otherwise, right now, everyone's kind of in a limbo. Hey, how's it going? talking about the speedrun.com rules and lack of understanding on what glitches are allowed, at least that I've seen. I haven't been like oh, come on. I haven't been like super up to date on what everyone's been saying in the Discord, but oh, boo. Yeah, ugh. Yeah, yeah, especially now with a full lap skip found on Midnight Motorist, it means that any percent is gonna be like a minute minimum, and it's like, oh, great. So, yeah, I'm doing no major glitches, no major skips. So like, I don't know, or at least trying. I don't like. The problem is like, before there was a full lap skip, I was like, oh god, that was really bad. What the fuck? Before there was a full lap skip, I was like, okay, cool. You know, like I'll do any percent. I kind of like all the tricks. You know, like I started like learning them and started implementing them kind of constantly. And it's like, okay, there are so many glitches in this game because it's a demo. Like, yeah, I didn't really get burnt out as much as I just kind of stopped because things got busy. And now, and the speedrun.com page being up, I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, you know, that's cool. So I'm doing some runs. I really need to get back into streaming. Gross, 100% on a Freddy in space game? That's rough. I don't know why anyone would ever do that, but props to you, I guess. Given that Freddy in Space and FNAF World is like one of my worst nightmares. That game, oof. The amount of times I'd be like, oh boy, I'm gonna get the full character roster, and then it's like, oh, never mind, I gotta play Freddy in Space. Woo! Oh, I pressed that jump. I think maybe I played a little bit. I don't know. I haven't played a whole lot of the modern spin-offs. Maybe I'm thinking of Freddy in Space 3 as the one that's like a huge pain. I don't know. I had a really long FNAF hiatus for during like several periods of major FNAF like Security Breach is kind of what got me back in. Not really, but yeah, like I said, it's really not. Those are not my forte. You know, I'm really first. How many games is that? The first, however, before Security Breach, I'm pretty knowledgeable. I think Ultimate Custom Night was kind of the point where I'm like, okay, you know, like, I guess at that point I didn't like the individual night gameplay enough to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be super interested in this game that is all individual night gameplay. Yeah, I think if I had like really been around whilst they were coming out, I probably would too, actually, because they're based on FNAF World. I probably would have been like, oh yeah, FNAF World games, woo! But yeah, the FNAF World Freddy in Space, just I've got I think its memory is intrinsically tied to the Rainbow minigame. To Chica's Magic Rainbow, and, well, Chica's Magic Rainbow is not good for mental health. Come on. Yeah, I have a bad habit of like not going back and looking at games. I've been like, oh, that would be so interesting. Oof, that was really rough. Okay. Oh, right on a car. Yeah, I don't know. I remember one time, actually more than one time, in class, trying to get like purple guy and ooh yeah, you know, some of the like it's so weird. Like some of the weirdest things in FNAF have like really. Let me actually change my times. Uh, some of them just have like I fucking Midnight Motorist has such a great. Let's see. No major glitches, no major skips. I don't know my best lap time, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. Uh, I guess I'll just put this one because it's the first one I know of for 23, 329. I'm pretty sure I've gotten better, but whatever. What can you do? Man, I was really hoping that no like true ultra shortcut would ever be found, but oh well. I was being naive. Unfortunately. And there's always you always gotta have hope that what, going that way. That's fine. It's all going fine. All good. All fucking great. Here we go. Yeah, and I think like I truly I would have been fine with it if like yesterday someone hadn't found a skip to just completely skip every lap on this map. Otherwise it would have been like, cool, this is a skill category. Like that's what I'm going for, is I'm going for like the interesting skill categories, not the I'm just gonna go the wrong way for 3 seconds, skip the entire lap, and then beat the game before the first night shift happens. Like, and I know that what a lot of people love in speedrunning is those frame perfect shenanigans and being like, you know, to even progress at all, you need to have perfect execution, and it's like, yeah, I understand that, but yeah, I speedrun games because I like them a lot, and I like the gameplay, so I don't want to, I don't want the speedrun to be, I'm gonna play not as little of the game as possible due to large amounts of skill. I want it to be, I play the game for as little as possible because I spent so much time enjoying it, getting to this point. Not, I'm going to literally turn around just after the race starts, go behind the finish line to a weird point that hits a checkpoint, and then finish the race in 30 seconds. It's like, oh, good. So anyway, my any percent run is already, like, I submitted it and then like saw that and I'm like, oh good, I don't know what counts as no major glitches, but it's not this run. Like that run was for sure major skips and glitches, which is a little annoying. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, no major glitches because it's just like it's shit like this, right? Where it's like, okay, I'm doing like intended skips and at least I think like I my core problem right now with the speedrun page is it's super unfinished. Like there's very little actual information. I think that's very fair. Um, yeah, I guess I if I had to guess, no major glitches and skips will be essentially what any percent was going to be before. That's actually really, I did really good that run. I'm amazing. I know, that's, yeah, don't even fucking look. Like, if you go and you look at show rules, they don't, like, in no major glitches, complete the track without any of the following glitches or skips. Placeholder. It's like, I have a lot of problems with the speedrun page. And you know, when they were asking for feedback, yeah, placeholder's my favorite glitch. It's really great. I gave my feedback, you know, like there are just truly so many categories, and oh, I need to move this. Okay, here we go. That's pretty good. There are so many categories. I'm like, guys, this is uh, you know, it's, yep. Love getting placeholder. When you get the good placeholder, mwah, amazing. Um, there are so many fucking categories, and it's like, guys, there aren't that many runners right now. Like, I don't know how many there are, right? I'm not like deep enough in anything to truly know how many people there are, but yeah, the speedrun page is rough. That's that's what I've got. It has some issues that I just like some decisions that I disagree with. Um, yeah, like that was kind of my thing, and actually a lot of other people's things as well. Is it's like, guys, every like essentially at this point, every runner will be able to have a world record because our categories are so general. Like it's so much, and I get it, right? Like the thing people are like worried about is it's like, you know, we don't want runs where every person who runs has to be using the perfect car setup and has to be using the perfect character or anything like that. But like that's speed running. That is a natural part of speed running and something you just kind of have to accept a lot of the time. And yeah, that's kind of what extended categories are for. That's the term. I was actually going to be like, guys, you know, there's an option on speedrun.com to have like separate categories for stuff like this, and I forgot the term. But yeah, extended categories. I was gonna mention that, like, hey guys, I don't know. Yeah, it's been weird. The I don't know how I feel about the moderating team as a whole. Um, of the Discord and the speedrun page, but I can't really comment. I haven't exactly been overly active. Ooh, that was rough. Shit. Yeah, that's yeah. Oh, like I feel like this game should have like three categories. Or it's like, okay, you know, you have like you have I guess six, right? So there's one for each level, and then the any percent, no major glitches, no major skips, skipless. Although I guess my problem is that, oh, seriously, In theory, the no major skips and skip lists could probably be thought of as the same thing because, like, okay, you know, there's built-in skips, but those are, like, this is a shortcut. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing, and I guess without them right now being like, uh, what counts as a, like, I'm using a glitch right now, like I'm doing the double boosting, and and that's it, right? That is the sum total of glitching that I'm doing, and as of right now, I don't know if that counts enough as a major glitch. It's definitely not intended, right? But it's also, I don't think it'd count as like a major glitch, right? It's pretty minor. Although I wouldn't be against. Yeah, this is, yeah, like, it's definitely like this definitely wouldn't be in skip list, right? Which is why I put no major glitches, no major skips. Oof, man, some of that was, this was kind of rough. Yeah. Oh, skip list will definitely be the one of the most God, I really hope that 403 isn't like the lowest I ever get because something was blocked and ugh. I understand the harshness of the rules, but I also really hope that like something like that isn't too harshly dealt with. Um, yeah, my really truly right now my sole problem is just just the lack of clarity on a lot of things. Um, I understand why no runs have been accepted. I think having like submitted runs before, a lot of times, uh, for the first like batch or two, they like doing them all at once. That way it's not like uh, the current ones. Oof. Yeah. Um, oof. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's uh, because they don't want like the first person to have submitted to be someone who's like, here's my best speed run ever, and it's like an 8-minute run or something, and they have first place for any moment of time. Like they like to be like, okay, you know, here's the first day's batch. Ooh, that was a rough first lap. Didn't have the boost I needed on that last segment. Um, damn it. Always with the damn drifting the wrong way. Well, you know, those people have to always exist, and you know, by the nature of speedrunning, trust me, I was when I the first game I think I ever did a speedrun for was Outer Wilds. Yep, Outer Wilds. I'm always like, it's not Outer Worlds. That's the Obsidian Entertainment game. Yeah, exactly. Like whenever they all get added, then you'll be the 8-minute guy. And I was like, okay, I never actually submitted a run. I did get a run almost to completion, and then I forgot to grab the one required item. Like, I got all the way to it, mind you, right? Like, I was, like, right there. Oh, dude, the fucking cars. Like, I was doing perfect. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. Everything is so clean. I didn't fuck anything up. And then I get to the end, and I'm like, where's the item? And I realized that for whatever reason, I just never grabbed it. Like, I remember pressing the button to grab it. Like, you could see in the footage as I, like, get all the way to it and everything. Yeah, I mean, that's where most people are. Like, that's the average person, right? Is you're like, okay, I'm fine. I can get things done. Oh, fuck. That's really bad. Oh, fuck, fuck, fuck. Dude, that's so fucked up. Okay, I fucked up all my button inputs. I could have made that one as well. Like, we sometimes forget that the people who are, like, world record speedrunners in, like, any game are insane, right? They are just so good at video games that, what the hell? Sometimes things just don't do what I want them to. Okay, cool. Yeah, just don't do any of what I fucking wanted. Awesome. Like, being a mediocre speedrunner is all most people can ever hope for. Like, when you look at, like, okay, who's the best Super Mario Brothers speedrunner? It's Nifsky. And he is so good. It's, like, legendary within the community, and, like, a detriment unto himself. Like, he has on more than one occasion complained that he gets records too fast. Like, he's like, I love the grind. God, that was so bad. Yeah, like, Cosmic is, I think, more famous generally than Nifsky is, but Nifsky is truly leagues better than Cosmic ever was. Which is kind of insane, because Cosmic was and is really good, and is still a record holder in multiple games. But, God, that 403 is gonna haunt me till my last days. But, like, the fact that Nifsky has gotten runs that are, like, perfect up until 8-4, like, perfect. Like, as far as anyone has ever been able to figure, he's done perfectly for every level except for the last one. That's... like, I know Mario is the oldest speed game, and, you know, its community has the most... Oh, man, sometimes that bounce just destroys you. It has the most raw time poured into it over any other speed game. And all of these things... it actually didn't do too much. But... man, I've watched a couple of streams from Nifsky, and it's like, when he gets going, which for any runner, even the greatest of the greats, it's tough to get a good run going. That was pretty good. Someone getting stuck. That's always a place they get stuck. Bomb. But anyway, I've played. I actually a couple of times was like, oh, you know, like, I'll kind of see how tough this is, because I know it's the fact that It's not only that Nifsky is literally the best in the world. Fucking goddamn it! I mean, generally, in-game time is used almost always in cases where it's like, okay, there is significant like time changes via loading or like people do a lot of like because of console load times. um Sometimes a trick uses like loading and reloading and loading and reloading and loading and reloading, and if it's something like luck based, like you don't want to punish the player and all that. So I guess if I mean I think generally in-game time should be used, right? Like I know that there are problems with it. I don't remember what game it was, but some people like found a way to beat it in like 3 seconds in-game time, even though the run was actually like 30 minutes. And it's like, okay, there's times like that where it's like, okay, yeah, you have to use like real time because the in-game time system can be exploited massively. Uh, I also had seen something about that, but um, we'll have to see what the moderators say. Um, because it's all up to them what timing we use. It's also if they switch timing systems. Well, we'll see. Um, like if they fucking cars. Oh god damn it! This was doing so well. I was doing really good. That just did so much. Oh, this fucked me up so much. That and getting endoed once. That was still so good though. Okay, even with that, I'm actually going to switch my best time down to this because this one's fully following the rules. But anyway, if they switch timing systems, that's on them to retime runs and whatnot. It just doesn't really matter. Um, let's see. What is this person? Have they already found faster versions of the fucking ultra shortcut? Because if so, that's crazy. Like, Jesus Christ. Uh, Also, have they mentioned whether or not we should use beta or not? Yeah, I don't really follow the Discord either. Because none of the rules say anything. Game rules. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking. I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess. It's just like I guess it's annoying because it's like, okay, they had 3 weeks to set this shit up. And I know during that time the beta came out, bugs were being found. 100% understand all that. But when did the beta come out? The beta came out like a week ago or something. Almost 2 weeks ago, actually. Like, it was pretty soon after the game released that they got out the beta. I don't know. We'll see. If so, then it means that all my runs are null and void. Because they're all on the beta. So, I don't know. I've tried to stay up to date with this as much as I can. But I don't care that much. And I don't know. In the last couple of days, the Discord has become very active. So it makes it actually like a lot harder to kind of keep up with what's going on. Like in the last, like previously it was like, okay, like you could go like 2 days without checking and spend 3 seconds and be fully up to date. But now it's like, okay, whoa, there's like I'll not, oh, dude, that first lap was so good, and then I go and I fucking beef it like that. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think enough really changed that I know of. Fuck, I missed it. I wasn't looking. Because that was a beautiful first lap. It had some issues, but it could have been better. Yeah, we'll see if they invalidate runs or not. Oh, yeah, like the cars, like sometimes it like doesn't actually do anything. Like if you're in the right position when you hit one of the cars and like you're doing the right thing, it'll just not even like change your momentum at all. You'll just like spin and like and just keep moving. And it's like, "Oh, this map is a lot more bearable." Still kind of annoying at times. I clearly didn't care anyway. But oh, Freddy, that was I was really glad you just got hit for some reason. Okay, gotta be careful about battery usage. Oh, that was fine. It could have been a lot better. But anyway, yeah. You know, it's things like this, like, okay, how do we? It's like I said early. It's the lack of clarity. You know, like there are so many things in which clarification are needed because there's so much going on, and I feel like they spent all of their time making categories. But maybe I'm being overly negative. I tend to do that sometimes. I don't know why, but I do. I missed that recharge pad. Whew. I my least favorite thing about speedrunning is when the game gets updated. uh, because a lot of times enough will change that the runs are current patch and old patches. And I remember the only game as of right now I have accepted runs for is Sable. Yeah, like Minecraft. Minecraft's actually a pretty good example, but in Sable, like when I started running, it's like, okay, there's 405. Damn, close. Like like if you look at the leaderboards now, I don't know where my run is. It's gone. It is impossible to see. I'm in 16th place in any percent apparently. Uh but I'm in legacy because my run was too long ago that like enough changed. And I'm in, where am I? Yeah, I'm in 13th place. It's like, okay, this used to be like a 5th place run. Obviously things change, but like I can't update that run, right? It's just like that forever. Like that will literally forever be a 13th place run until current patch becomes legacy, if it ever does. Um and yeah, that's kind of fucking annoying. And I know this is going to happen with this between demo and full game. It'll be less annoying, I think, depending on how many bugs they end up fixing, which will be a lot. There are a lot of bugs to fix. But, you know, all of it remains to be seen. We've got, like, probably, like, probably 6 or 8 months till this full game releases, which is a shame. I want it now, but, you know, what are we going to do? Man, 2025, FNAF is having a renaissance 2025. We're getting a full joy of that was so bad. Full joy of creation is coming out. There's a not bad chance that Pop Goes Evergreen will be out around then. What else was coming out? This is coming out. Second FNAF movie is coming out. Secrets of the Mimic is coming out. Man, it's gonna be a great year next year for FNAF. Like, we've had some rough years, you know, where it's like, okay, what is the sum total of FNAF content? Oh, it was Security Breach. Yay. Security Breach. And then next year, it's gonna be like fucking year 1, dude. It's gonna be like 2014 all over again. Where it's like, okay, what happened this year? Well, and then you rattle off like 5 games that were added, and it's like, oh man, hell yeah. Like everyone, I think so many people are like man, 2015 was really, what a year for FNAF, where we got FNAF 1, 2, 3, and 4 all within like a year and a half of each other. What a year. What a legendary year. And it was all leading up to the magnum opus of FNAF World. Man, I don't know if you've seen Daco's interview with Scott Cawthon, but I'm like, if he actually ever does a FNAF, like, during it, he's like, you know, I don't know if I'll ever do, like, he's like, I want to do a FNAF World 2. I didn't do that great of a job. And Daco's like, I love that game. I'm like, bro, Daco, I am so there with you. You don't even understand, dude. One of my old FNAF World save files had 48 hours. Like, unironically, 48 hours. And maybe, I mean, a little bit of that was probably just leaving the game open on accident, but otherwise, like, all of it was just me playing FNAF World and enjoying FNAF World. I have played it more than every other FNAF game combined, times by, like, 4. Like, because one of the things I love about FNAF is character designs and things like that, and FNAF World lets me get all of that without being massively anxiety-inducing at all moments, and I really appreciate that. Like, Help Wanted's great, but I have done, like, every minigame in Help Wanted 1 except for the play FNAF minigames, because I'm like, damn, oh, that was so clean. Because I'm like, if I do the fucking play FNAF minigames, I'm going to shit. Just immediately. Oh, that was so good. I was doing so well. That was so beautiful. Oh, I'm fucking beefing it, dude. I fucking beefed it. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I love how during the interview Scott's like, at this point I thought, I'm Scott Cawthon, whatever I make is gold. And it's like, dude, you're talking about my favorite game you've ever made. Like, he's just... I think it's because he's so sincere about what he's doing when he's making games, is like one of the reasons why they're all so good. Is even FNAF 1 being old at this point, janky, like, you can kind of start seeing some cracks in the veneer and whatnot. It's just so good. Like, you're looking at it and you're like, everything's well made, everything is made with love and care. Yeah. But yeah, the spin-offs are nice because he doesn't have to. Yeah. But yeah, and the thing is FNAF World was his first FNAF failure. Like, let's be 100% here. It was removed from Steam, all these things. Yeah. Like, yeah, I get it. But also, like, it's great. FNAF World's great. Like, but, eh, what can you do? As someone who has made things before and make things now, not like video games or anything, just like, I enjoy creating things. It is it is so tough to ever see errors in your work. Like, I was telling some of my friends this, it's like, if I do something weird that you're like, why did he do that? It's because I found one problem that you'll never notice, but I know I'll notice, and that's the problem. And I think that's kind of where Scott was for a lot of FNAF World, is he's like, originally he didn't see the problems and he released it, and everyone else saw them. Like, he had the creative's worst nightmare. You know what? That's fair. I I think, like, it being a game that... Oh, come on. Like, FNAF World is... the same canon as the books, I guess, right? Like, where it's like, yeah, I don't know, not really, but, like, I think it has some... I think it has some moments that can be, oh, dude, and he spawned on top of me. That's death. That's death. I'm dead. It does depend on who you ask. Same way as the books. It depends on who you ask, and I hate all of them. But I think I've been pretty open about my opinion on the canonicity of the books. They're not, definitely not. Like, come on, guys. Fucking Fazbear Frights is canon. Fuck that. Anyway. And it's, the problem is I know that's, I, honestly, FNAF is so weird when it comes to theorizing for me, because I was never much of a theorist, but I did watch a lot of, like, game theory and stuff, so I was kind of keeping up with it. And FNAF is the reason... Game theory is the reason I started watching FNAF and, like, playing FNAF and doing stuff with it, like GT Live and all that. It's also... But then FNAF is the reason I stopped watching game theory, because there was, like, Matt's, like, Twisted Ones theory, where he was super clearly ignoring things, and I'm like, come on, Matt. Anyway, yeah, I stopped theorizing a long time ago. I guess I never really started. Yeah, you could... I think Pop Goes is probably a lot easier, because I think Kane has been really trying to make sure that his lore isn't as cryptic, and being shared in the universe of Five Nights at Candy's means you have FNAF 1 through 3 to work with, as well as Pop Goes, even though the original Pop Goes is non-canon now. But at this point now you have Popgo's Arcade, Dead Forest, and Mechanist, which are great, by the way, if you haven't played them. Fucking awesome. I've been really liking all the Popgo's projects. It's always been one of my favorite FNAF fan games. Like, classic FNAF fan games. I think, honestly, oh, dude, I think, oh, what is it? A Bite at Freddy's definitely took my title as my favorite, without a doubt. Anyway, yeah, theorizing. Theorizing is a deeply important part of the FNAF community, and also a part I deeply hate sometimes, because people will just say the craziest shit like it's normal, and that's fair. Like, I mean, you can, you like doing what you're doing, right? If you're making it to fit in, you can make your lore within the Pop Goes FNAC universe, and it just not be like canon. I know that's what you want, is like it being canon as well. You know, I guess you just had to be a, yeah, you can make a one-way canon. You just had to be a fan game creator in like 2015, and then it honestly may have been. Yeah, exactly. Where it's like Pop Goes and Candies aren't canon to FNAFs 1 through 3, but FNAFs 1 through 3 are canon to Pop Goes and Candies. Yeah. 2, 1. I've heavily considered making a fan game. Technically, I have made a fan game actually. I made it for a class. It was a game development class, and so I made a runner where you play as Lolbit, like running through like a FNAF 1, like sort of like Shattered World kind of thing going on, and I I was at some like multiple times like, oh, maybe I should release this onto like Game Jolt or something, just so it doesn't sit on my hard drive forever. Like, I didn't put that much work into it, but I did not put work into it, if that makes sense. Like, it's definitely not something that'd be like, oh, this should be in the fanverse, guys. My fucking Infinite Runner should be in the fanverse. But like, you know, I'm proud of it. But I never got around. I've done this so many times where I'll have like a project I've done in class, and I'll be like really proud of it, and I think I did a good job, and be like, oh, I should release this. I just need to finish it. Even if the finishing, like for one of them was a music video I made for an Adobe After Effects class. It's like, cool. This would take me maybe 15 minutes to finish max, and I just haven't. Yes, I not even yeah. With the theory that single-handedly made me stop watching game theory for years. I started watching food theory early on, but yeah, consistency is a major problem in both ways, where it's like they want their theories to be consistent. They don't want to do the constant like shifting back and forth that was theorizing about FNAF in the early days, where you're like, okay, I found this one new piece of evidence, so now my entire previous theory is completely null and void, but I have this new theory. Like, I get it, but also it's, my problem is that they upload too often, right? Like, they don't give it time. They have to upload once a week and do all this, and it's like, guys, you're, by the nature of your upload schedule, destroying any credibility you had. And the fact that I stopped watching Game Theory and like, oh, when was that? Yeah, it's a company, literally. It's always been a company, but yeah. Well, actually, they left. They were fired, right? Austin and the others left because they were cluttering. I always, even after I stopped watching Game Theory normally, I would still watch episodes of The Science because I really appreciated it. Anyway, the even back in like 2017, whenever Twisted Ones came out, like I remember watching a video about Twisted Ones and being like, "Oh, they made FNAF books? That's so cool!" And then I went and I got them, and man, my copy of the Silver Eyes is, whew, it is a book I have read a dozen times. And I remember Matt making a theory on it and saying that the Twisted animatronics were the toy animatronics, and it's like I think I like went back and like rewatched the theory like a year later or something. I'm like, Matt, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, unironically, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, I'm subscribed to his channel, but I don't watch it anymore. Yeah. Yeah. I still have a lot of respect for Matt Pat as a person, but the amount of times that there has been hard proof that theories are plagiarized, stolen, and those are the same thing, but you know what I mean? Like that there's shady things going on in old Theoryville over there that I just, yeah, I just couldn't anymore after a while. I don't know. They went the path of every early YouTube channel where, you know, they just, you sometimes you have to evolve, and sometimes you evolve the wrong way, and unfortunately sometimes it works. Like Game Theory, I think, had too much momentum to stop, and then by the time that anyone was like, guys, are we the problem on YouTube? I think there were too many people whose job was their timeline. Ooh, yeah. Their timeline was definitely contentious. I remember seeing those. I don't think I ever actually fully watched them, but I do remember like seeing them pop up. I think I was talking with friends like on Discord or something and had seen them, and I don't know, once you realize that over 10% or like 8 or 10, that was crazy. Like a almost, or like a double digit or almost double digit number of the total videos on the Game Theory channel or FNAF, you kind of start realizing the problem. Like, they haven't fully leaned into FNAF, so they can't spend all their time on it, but also they have to spend most of their time on it because that's what people want. And I think they're in a bad spot of being like, okay, like we're not a FNAF channel where, yes, I also remember the exact video that made me stop watching Dan TDM. I used to be, whew, big Dan TDM guy, huge Dan TDM fan, and I remember like the first time I was like, wait a minute, is there something weird going on with this YouTuber I like? It was when he dyed his hair. I was like, okay, that's, like, I didn't even like really care, but then it's when he changed his Minecraft skin that I was like, now, wait a minute, what's going on here? And then he got the new lab, whenever that was. That was like so long ago, but it was that video, that exact video. I don't think I like ever really watched another Dan TDM video after that, because I was just like you're foregoing Yeah, so like I think like dyeing his hair was like normal, and then because like at that point it was 2015 or whenever all the YouTubers were doing it, but it was when he changed his skin specifically that like he changed his skin and got the new lab at the exact same time actually like it was like the same video I think, and you know it was like I said, evolution's necessary, but I think that era of YouTube just made YouTubers evolve in a bad way, like all the time, because that's just how YouTube is, man. Sometimes, yeah. But anyway, it's it's always nice to find a YouTuber who has evolved either not at all or in a good way. Hmm. Yeah, I think I'm at the point where I watch too much Hermitcraft to really appreciate simple Minecraft. Like I'm too spoiled by just like the greatest Minecraft players of all time doing greatest of all time Minecraft player things. But anyway, I've really appreciated as time's gone on finding YouTubers where you could watch a video from literally 10 years ago and a video now. Like, oh, this YouTuber is the exact same, and that's great. I've really only found like one. I found one YouTuber who's like that, where like no matter what era of the channel you choose, as long as it's like of the same series, it's just the exact same. Actually, you know what? Grian's that way as well. There's only one non-Minecraft YouTuber I found that's like that. I guess I should say. I found most Minecraft YouTubers I still watch are like that, where they don't really... They evolve, but they don't really change, I guess? Like... Yeah. I... I haven't watched... I used to watch a lot of RT Game. I don't think anything changed. I think just like, well, actually, his like playing the complete game, like every now, like a couple of them in a row were like games I wanted to play, so I wasn't watching them for spoilers reasons. And then I just kind of got out of the habit, and then they became so long that it's like, okay, I could only watch so many long videos. And man, I have been watching so many actual play D&D series. Okay, it's one. I've been watching a lot of it though, and that takes up most of my time. Um, but yeah, it is nice to see people like just appreciate. I I don't think I could ever really do 2 times speed, and despite streaming, I don't like watching streams that much. I've never been a huge stream enjoyer. That was weird. It also doesn't help that, like, most of the streamers I like are truly massive, and there's something to be said about being able to have, like, a specific conversation with a streamer, like we're having now, where it's like, yeah, I can actually, like, directly and specifically talk to this person about some things that interest us. Um, so, like, whenever I watch a stream like that, I really appreciate it, but sometimes they're tough to find, and when you do find them, sometimes it's like, yeah, but also, like, all the cool, interesting shit is happening, is being done by the people who have literally 1,000 times the viewers, and therefore probably 1,000 times the money to do cool things with. But, you know, when I have watched small streamers, something about, like, yeah, it's definitely more of a community, and that's always really nice. I remember, like, there were some small streamers I was watching, and it was just kind of fun to be there and be like, you know what, this is a small group of people in which you can realistically, maybe not get to know, but understand the streamer a lot more. And yeah, small streams are nice, but it's like I was watching a video that was talking about cooking channels on YouTube and starting them. And the core thesis of the video was, don't start a cooking channel. It's a bad idea. And the ending thesis of the, like at the very start, like that's the first thing he said. And then the last thing he said was, don't stop making cooking channels. They're, a new personal best. Because it's like every person has so much to share, and while maybe, you don't specifically have anything, there are, PB in this specific category that I actually don't know what category this is. If it's no major skips, then maybe I could be doing the jump? I don't know. Anyway, the end result was essentially like, it's tough and expensive, and it's a terrible, terrible industry to run a cooking channel because you're working against corporations. But if you do actually do it, then, you may make something amazing. And streaming is kind of the same way. It's like, if I go on to like Twitch right now, it's like, okay, there are people with 20,000 viewers or more or less or whatever, and what are you gonna do? Like, if I look, there are currently 2 people streaming 5 laps at Freddy's, me and someone else. But like, neither of us are probably ever going to like make it anywhere. Yeah. No, I remember that. I also watch a good amount of Doug. I don't watch his streams, but I watch all his videos. And like, during the era where he had YouTube chat, like, the Twitch and YouTube chats were aggressive. Like, I know it started as jest, but I think it started ending with like actual aggression. Like the chat like actually started hating each other. And also, like, I've always seen it that if I were to be streaming on YouTube, I would statistically have more viewers, but I would hate all of them. Right? Like, having been in the chats of people like Small Ant and similar, YouTube chats and YouTube chat skews young, and young people online are the worst. Like, I remember being young. I remember being like 12 or 13 and being a fucking little menace in people's Twitch chats. It was a problem. What time is it? Okay, just making sure I'm not running out of time. And I think what Doug was finding is that his YouTube community is like everyone's. It's young. It's annoying. They're brazen, brash. Oh, yep. That's also a problem. I've seen that a lot with a different streamer I watch, where like the YouTube videos will sometimes be like a week or 2 behind, and jokes, you move on. Sometimes, not always, but oh, that was a pretty good first lap. So yeah, I so completely understand that. Yeah. I think Doug actually was streaming on YouTube earlier this week for the Rosa charity stream. I'm pretty sure he was streaming on YouTube for it. But that's also a charity thing, so that makes sense. Like, it's, you know, like, hey, here's a memorial to this. Yeah, it's an event, but, you know, still a stream. Like, he still had to be there and be vaguely looking at chat and whatnot, but yeah, I don't know. And yeah, YouTube and Twitch are just so different. It's hard to understand until you see like the difference in chats. Like, I think that's such a tell between YouTube and Twitch. That was really bad. I need to. That's gonna be pretty good. Okay, I shouldn't have tried to continue there, but that's fine. It's all learning. They're just different. It's so hard to like accurately describe what makes them so truly different that it's like noticeable. Like, to a normal person, it's like, well, I mean, you know, I don't really see what could be different. It's like, no. Oh, what? Damn it, I was too aggressive with boost. Does the Endo, like, have to catch up with you, or can you technically outrun him the whole time? Well, he's gonna get me now, but it looks like you can outrun him the whole time. I almost actually outran him fully. That was crazy. Yeah, I remember the one thing I remember about being young and in stream chat, Twitch or YouTube, I don't remember. Doesn't really matter. I remember, for some godforsaken reason, I was like, God, I have this great idea. I've been really liking this song by the Living Tombstone. So what if I put all the lyrics to this song in this poor streamer's chat? And obviously it didn't fit, right? Because this is a full song, and there's limits. But yeah, you should do that right now. And then, like, later on, I was looking at it being like, oh, I wasn't even that weird. Like, that's a little weird, right? But also, I was fucking, immediately, like, timed out. And so, like, it didn't actually affect anybody. But, like, I think about it and being like, oh, like, that's, like... No, it was a different one. It wasn't even a FNAF one. It was the Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion. But I also very much enjoy all of his FNAF songs. Yeah, I can't think of any that are, like, bad for his FNAF songs. I used to be really into the, like, YouTube music scene. I used to watch a lot of Random Encounters. Die in a Fire is really good, yeah. I think FNAF 1, I mean, look, I was one of those guys where I'd be playing Roblox, work at a pizza place simulator. I'd have the juke. God, oh fuck, I was every child from my generation, wasn't I? And I'd be playing Living Tombstone's FNAF 1 song, and it was great, and everything was awesome. Yeah. Anyway, I used to watch, like, a lot of Random Encounters and stuff. And then I think they had the same problem where, I mean, Roblox still exists. Like, you can go and play Roblox right now, and there's actually some good stuff on it. Doors is pretty good. It's fine. It is Roblox horror. Not necessarily scary, but... No, I mean earlier, yeah. I remember, I don't know how many ticks I lost back in the day when they translated to Robux, but it was not an unsubstantial amount. It was probably like, fuck, I don't even remember. Uh, uh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, I actually do have a Roblox game. I've done a lot of, like, as, like, I think about it, it's like, man, like, I have I usually have a pretty nasty case of imposter syndrome whenever I'm doing fucking anything at all, ever. Um, but, yeah. Um, and like, game development is, like, something I really want to do. And I'm like, man, but I don't know what I'm doing. And then it's like, well, actually, like, yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know, I don't, like, not know what I'm doing entirely. Like, I've made a Roblox, well, game is a strong term for what I made. Uh, I made it at, like, a summer camp, and it was a recreation of Fallout New Vegas' Old World Blues DLC. Uh, No one ever bought my Robux redeem that allowed you to get into an area. I can't believe it. I spent like 8 minutes on that area. Okay, it was longer than that, but oh, that's so fair. Yeah, I my art of choice. I uh I can't. Well, I do have imposter syndrome, actually, a little bit with it, but it's a lot less because so few people do it. Uh, and I've never met anyone else who does it. Well, actually, I have, but I think I'm better than them. I don't, but I I I look at their work, and I've learned a lot from it, and yes, no, I have that all the time. My problem is that my art form of choice is wood carving, and the person I like look up to the most, whoever did it, I never ended up meeting them. It was my great grandfather. He passed away before I was born, but two of his carvings are in my house, right? Like, I see them every day, and so when I look at them, I'm always like, will I ever get to that point? And I don't know if I ever will, but also I then have to be like, okay, the two I see are from after, like, he'd been doing it for like 20 years. I've been doing it for 1 year. Uh, I don't know. It's also like half of the things I've ever done are FNAF characters. Like, the first thing I ever did was a pretty simple, and then the second thing was Foxy and Bonnie. Like, I had a piece of wood, and I was like, I want to make Foxy and Bonnie. So I made Foxy and Bonnie, and you know what? It's pretty good. I posted to the FNAF subreddit, and no one cared. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, no, I 100%, like, one of one of the things that got me into doing it was I helped refurbish one of my great grandfather's pieces, and every day I see it, and every day I look at it and think the same thing, like, oh, I could have done some of these things better. But no one else, same. I've done literally the same thing. Actually, mine was pretty low effort, because I like drawing in a low effort way, because I find it really funny, like I kind of, like, I've always really liked terminal montages stuff, because I love just this stupid low effort, but also still kind of high effort art style. And anyway, someone made fun of me for it being low effort. But anyway, every day I see this piece, and I know that no one else who sees it sees the same problems I do, right? And I've been really trying to work that into other things I make, being like, okay, No one else will notice this problem. I am the sole person who will notice it. And yet, I'm always still so worried about that problem. You know, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but how good your art is determined by you, right? Oh, I was so not expecting to come back from that. That's crazy. Like, the meaning of art is created by the artist and found out by the viewer, but it's there's nothing as subjective as the quality of art, and with that comes a problem of, do you allow your art and its quality to be decided by those who didn't make it? Or are you the one who is like, I like this piece a lot, right? I love the piece I made of Foxy and Bonnie. I think it's really good. Even though it's my second piece, I still look at it, I'm like, yeah, there's some problems. I would change some things. But I still really like it. The fact that the FNAF subreddit didn't give a shit at all doesn't... It affected me then, right? I was so... I almost didn't ever post it. I've never posted anything there since, because I kind of proved my own point of that... Oh, like, you know, why does it matter if they like it? All I need is for me to like it. It's a piece I made. I don't fucking give a shit about them. They're a bunch of FNAF nerds living in their houses, not doing what I'm doing, you know? I don't really care. And, that's kind of what that's kind of the ending I came to, was, like, I like the piece a lot. I don't really care if other people like it or not. Obviously, that doesn't always work. Like, a lot of the pieces I've made, I've given to other people. Because it's like, okay, what am I going to do with, you know, 24 carvings? Oh, I thought that was going to be sub 4. Yeah, I also look at it, and I think it's just a good piece still. I don't know if I ever sent it to myself anywhere. I think it's just on my phone. And yeah, I don't know. It's good. I like it. Let me email it to myself. Still sending it to myself? Yeah. But yeah, there are a lot of pieces that, like, I think that's a lot of people, like, it... FNAF, I think, brought so many people into art for so many reasons. Um, that's a big picture. But let me just download this. Let's see here. Oh, what the fuck? What is happening? There we go. Oh, that is really big. Okay, let me move it there. So I gotta still be able to grab it. Oh god, I'm fucking everything up. Oh god, everything's broken. Image. Go. Yeah, so the top one's Foxy. Hold on. It's a phone image, so it's really tall. So it's Foxy and Bonnie. And yeah, you know, it's like the second thing I ever made. I made it like a bit over a year ago. And you know, I spent a lot of time on it. Like, Yeah, that was what my grandfather always made, was totem poles. So that's kind of what I've done as well. And see, I made this a bit over a year ago, and spent probably like 5 or 6 hours making it, and with and then thought about it for a few days, posted to the subreddit, and then got nothing. I think one person was like, "Hey, good job," and it's like, nice. Yeah, second time. But like the like what Foxy looks like is based heavily on one of my great grandfather's pieces. A lot of them are. Like I've always, like, since I started, I've used his work as kind of a guide, as like a, okay, like, I don't know anything about indigenous culture, so I I don't like try and make any of their animals or anything. I make characters I like. I think my third or fourth piece was Subject Delta and Big Daddy from Bioshock. It wasn't very good. That piece I learned a lot from. I've really learned a lot from my family doing this. Multiple members of my family make totem poles, and well, it was my great grandfather and one of my great uncles do it. So it's kind of a family thing, and something I always had a real fascination with. And one day, when I decided, like, I was staying up with my great aunt, and she kind of is she's not the family historian, but she might as well be one of them. And she, like, showed me, like, all my great grandfather's stuff. I was like, oh, this is all, like, really cool. Like, I know we had two, and one of them was really damaged. So I was like, okay, I wanna redo this one, because it's been sitting damaged in our garage for forever, and oh, that was close. I don't know where it's gonna put me. Oh. Um. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get myself some chisels, and I'm just gonna do this. And I did it. And now here we are a year later, and I still do it. And I really like it still, which is weird. Usually my hobbies don't last this long, and I'm really aware of that. Um, but I think multiple of my hobbies recently have been sticking for a lot longer. I think just getting older, I've just, like, actually started finding more things, and I'm like, yeah, I really like this, rather than just, like, weird micro obsessions. It's become, like, actual hobbies. I don't know if that was censored by you, Twitch, or what. I don't know. It's... Oh, okay, there we go. Or if it's just supposed to be 3 asterisks. That'd be an interesting drawing. Drawing is one of those things that I did, like... I used to draw a lot, and then I did one really good drawing. I'm like, nope, that's it. I did it. Look at how good I did it this time. I don't need to do it again. I did try it plenty more times, and I just, I don't know, I never found the same success as the one... I've always found with art and anything creative... Oh, yeah, maybe. You can... I've got a stream Discord you could join and put it in. I think it's still linked properly. But, like, every time I've done I've had like, oh yeah, I have this awesome, great idea. For some reason, it's always been like I'm in like the middle of class doing something, and that's when it's like, oh, here's my great stuff. It's the middle of class. Damn, Foxy's got 4 arms. He's going crazy. Damn. Yeah, I have a lot of art that looks a lot like that. Um, I never really did FNAF art. Well, that's a lie. I never successfully did FNAF art in any imaginable way. Like, the carving of Foxy and Bonnie is kind of what I think of as, like, my first real piece of FNAF fan art. Uh, Everything else I ever did was either unfinished or so bad it's not even worth thinking about. I've never I've never been able to draw a straight line very well. It's always been a very specific weakness of mine. Uh, don't ask me why, I don't know. I'm still bad at it. Well, actually, I know exactly why. It's dysgraphia. Woo! Oh, what the fuck? Well, that at least you're using it. Like, I feel like everyone's had, like, oh, here's my cool FNAF character idea, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna do all these awesome things. This is going so well. Oh my god, this is gonna be the greatest speedrun ever done. People are gonna look at this for generations. Oh, old Foxy died. Damn. He has too many arms. He just couldn't. He just couldn't with the 4 arms. It's too much. No one's meant to have more than 2 arms. But I think that's. I mean, it's kind of fun. Like, I've always thought Mangle's whole deal, where it's like, okay, there's so many extra limbs and body parts. I don't even know what's happening. Is really great. I think it's such a fun motif for animatronics, where it's so possible for that to happen, where, like, they just, like, kind of have extra parts grafted on. And it's been unused since Mangle. Okay, with a blob, but I don't count the blob. In fact, I don't even see the blob as an existing thing. I pretend like the blob doesn't exist at all times. Because I hate it. Because it breaks everything. Because why does the blob have the puppet's mask? The puppet died in Pizzeria Sim. Oh. Well, who needs to remember anything else, huh? So it's gonna be kind of like it kind of feels like it would be like sort of a Candies 2 sort of situation. Maybe a little not as bad as Candies, well, not as contentious as Candies 2, which I know is the most contentious Candies game, except for 3. Three's got some contention about it as well. Yeah, actually, that's fair. Although, I guess I had always assumed that, like, most of the items in Fazbear Frights were illegitimate items, like, made for Fazbear's Frights, rather than being actual items. It's also possible that's not the puppet, that's, like, one of them. But given that it's on the blob, it's like, okay, no, that is the puppet. Like, that is the marionette from FNAF 2. But Lefty burned to death in Pizzeria Sim like everyone else. So why is the puppet there? I dislike the blob. Like, there's still enough of me that gives a shit about the lore to dislike a good amount of Security Breach. Like, not enough to be, like, angry about it as a whole, but just, like, specific parts. I think my problem with it is that it's something that's so specific. Like when FNAF 3 was coming out, it's like, okay, fine, whatever. I don't really like because when FNAF 3 was coming out, it's like, okay, you know, fine. There's so little lore at this point. It was the final chapter, or was that FNAF 4? I feel like that was FNAF 3. Maybe it was FNAF 4. I don't remember. I wasn't really in the community at that time. Yeah. Anyway, it's the fact that in Pizzeria Sim, like, my single favorite moment from all of FNAF is the end of the normal ending of Pizzeria Sim. It's my favorite thing that ever happened. Oh yeah, FNAF 4 was a fun chapter. See, that's what I felt like. That's what I was remembering, but I don't know. I felt like there was something about FNAF 3 supposed to be like very final, and then FNAF 4 came out. I don't know. Connection terminated. Yeah, that whole segment, it's so good, and the fact that the blob's existence ruins that moment, because it's like, okay, this is Funtime Freddy, which became Molten Freddy, so Molten Freddy's still around. The puppet's in there somewhere, like, so fair though. Like, everything about that, like, Springtrap's jump scare is bad. It's a bad jump scare. Like, it's really not even a jump scare. It's a meander up to you as you die. But I get it. It's supposed to, like, yeah. I kind of understand all of it. True, but I think it's the fact that the mask survived unscathed. I think if the mask was, like, completely destroyed, like if it was burnt to a crisp, all that, I think I'd be more fine with it. But it could be a replica, yeah, like it could be the Fazbear Frights thing. But I mean, then again, now that we as a community know the problems the problem that is Security Breach and its story and why it's the way it is, I'm a little more forgiving. There are, yeah, we know, yeah. Then again, I feel like Special Delivery is also questionably canon. Like, is it canon that Statue of Liberty Chica, like, was, like, actually made by Fazbear Entertainment? If so, I don't know how to feel about that. That's really funny and also deeply sad in some way. Like, it's a strange in between of the two. I don't know. I think one of the things I was going to mention earlier during the talk about the books, it doesn't really break the lore. So, ooh, not by very much. Scott's response to the whole book thing, where he's like, what people have been saying about the book, what people have been saying about the books, yes. I love that response. It's very Scott Cawthon, but also I hate it because it didn't solve anything. the core issue is that people were getting aggressive about the books. And as someone who since I first read The Silver Eyes, when Matt Pat said it was boring, and I've never looked at it in the same way since, because it's my favorite of the three books, easily. Ever since then, I've been like, yeah, I don't think the books are canon. I mean, like, I think even then, like, back then, like, Scott was like, no, they're not canon. Like, they're in like a parallel timeline, and it's like, okay, cool, I can completely believe that. Yeah, I think that's pretty true. I think he still cares, right? It's a story he's been making. It's hard to stop. It's hard to truly stop caring about something like that. Um, but I think the problem is he's realized the myriad of issues created by FNAF 1 and the fact that he didn't plan anything for FNAF 1 because it was supposed to be his last hurrah outside of his normal sphere of Christian RPGs and I guess whatever you count Chipper and Sons as. Like, I've always felt that FNAF 1, by its nature, was a huge problem when making the rest of the story. And oof, I don't know how I didn't hit that. Damn, Foxy. Run into me and then try and shoot me? That's crazy. Woo! Ah! Oh, instant restart though. I'm fine with that. I have no qualms with a free instant restart. Ooh, beautiful. Yeah, I mean, okay, but FNAF 1 was a little different, right? Because, you know, it was supposed to be his, like, full last game, not just like, oh, this is the last game in this series that doesn't exist yet. It's like, I'm literally never going to make another video game after this. Yeah, FNAF 1, I think, was supposed to be fully self-contained. He's gonna get me. Oh, come on! If I had a little more battery. And missing that battery pad's rough. Ooh, ooh, that's fine. It's tough. I'm struggling sometimes. Like, I'll be like reading like I'll see your message and it'll be or maybe you should be less impressed because it means it shows how bad all my previous runs were. But yeah, I'll like look at a message and it'll take me like 2 or 3 lookovers to actually read it because I'll be like But I've streamed for a long time. Well, damn. That was pretty good though. That was fine. Even with the endo, if I hadn't been endo, that probably would have been sub 4. Oh, good old endo. But you know what? The game it's been almost 2 hours and the game has not crashed once. So look at that. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I mean, it's not actually that impressive. Like, I think I've had the game crash a couple of times even after the beta came out. But definitely less. Um, but yeah, the beta was actually like a really, I really appreciate it. I really hope that, oh, come on. I really hope that the beta is standard for speedrunning. Um, given that, like, it's not like anyone doesn't have access to it, right? Like, there's no one who's like, oh, well, I can't get to it. It's like, no, everyone can. It takes typing exotic butters into one screen on Steam. Like, I also hope that, for the selfish reason of, first off, it fixes the map I play, and also it's where all the runs I'm doing right now are. So, you know, call it, what was the term? Really? Any particular reason? I know that there's some bugs that were introduced by the beta that are a problem, but oof, I'm gonna get endoed if I don't get to there in time. Yeah. No, that's completely fair, yeah. I think, well, first off, I misread that is part of the problem. First time I have that problem. But yeah, I would also definitely rather this. But also in some ways I dislike it because I know that the beta is better at being not broken, but also it's better at being broken in annoying ways. Yeah, I feel like demo runs, like just like flat demo runs, will be completely fine as long as I don't do anything that's only possible in the original beta or demo. Which I think there are very few things. I feel like Midnight Motorist runs probably won't be accepted because of the changes to the cars. I don't think they changed anything about how, like, weight classes or anything work. Well, that's fair, yeah. Like, if you're like, oh, I don't want these runs to disappear, but also they weren't great, so I guess I don't care that much. Like, I'd still rather my work be seen, but, I mean, it's not very good, so... Um... Whew. Almost continuous boost throughout that's pretty cool. This is probably gonna be like a 4, low 4, maybe a higher 4 now. One thing I really hope doesn't start happening is I know this was a problem in, I think, the Tetris speedrunning community, which doesn't really exist. It's more, well, it does. I meant, like, speedrunning isn't really a thing in Tetris. It's more highest points is usually what people are going for. Like, longest runs. Like, furthest runs, I guess. Furthest runs and fastest at the same time. Is that a lot of, like, very high-skilled people would, like, hold on to runs a lot. Like, yeah, Tetris, it's fun. It's a fascinating run. But like some of the world record contenders would, like, hold runs and then, like, almost use them to, like, parry away a new world record, or just, like, not submit them at all. Like, they'd get, like, PB after PB and just not do anything with it. It's like, well, I want to get better, and it's like, okay, but that's not... You can just, like... I don't know. I don't think that really happen... Oh, that was rough. I don't think that really happens anywhere else. necessarily. I think that's I think just like the Tetris world record holders are just kind of weird, more than the average speedrun world record holder at least. Because I mean, well, they play Tetris. That's a ridiculous game to speedrun. It's like speedrunning a FNAF spin-off. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I hope stuff like that doesn't happen, because it's not like... Yeah, exactly. No items, yellow weight, yep. Honestly, though, I think unfortunately, if there are people who, like, really want to get world record, that is how they're going to do it. Is they're just going to be like, oh, here's something no one does. Yellow class. Who plays a yellow weight class? I have never seen anyone play a yellow weight class ever. So if you're like, oh yeah, well I've got a world record, it's like, okay, you have a world record in a category that no one else has ever played. Like, no one else plays that category. I just try and be like, I'm just gonna get a run in as many of the categories as possible, so that way I can have like 8 world records. Smart. It's smart. Might be able to watch that. Man, my school schedule is fucking awesome. Now that being in college is great sometimes. It's kind of sucks, but also it's kind of awesome. Like, I only have classes Monday and Wednesday, and Monday is Labor Day. Woo! America, labor, woo! So it's like, oh, I don't have school for a whole week. Fuck, which is why I'm doing this now. Is because, like, okay, I got, like, as much of my homework done as I could. Well, that's a lie. I got as much as my homework done as I could in an hour without putting in any effort. So I got the math homework I knew how to do done, is essentially. But it means I've got like so much time, and it's like, oh, what do I do with it? I guess I'll play the funny bear racing game, bro. Yeah, military service is definitely for some people, a barrier to entry. My dad did that. He went to the military before going to college. But I'm assuming yours is instead of like, yeah, like I'm assuming it's like, I think South Korea has the same thing, where it's like, nah, you have to join our military. In America, you just get a lot of really great things from joining the military. Like, I know quite a few anti-military people, or at least like military negative people, and it's like, yeah, but you get free college, right? Like, it's not even like it's not even like, oh, like the military just pays for it. Yeah, no, so do I. Like, as someone who is, I wouldn't say like pro-military, I think is the wrong term, but I'm not anti-military. Oh, well, see, that's why that's how the military gets you in America. They're like, oh, you want to get higher education? Well, either you go into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt, or you give us 4 years. Those are your options. America comes with its ups and downs. There's some ups. Yeah, 4 years. The minimum contract you can get with the military is 4 years, but yeah, like, you don't have to or anything, which is nice, but yeah, if you're, that almost just invalidated the run. Oh my god, that just invalidated the run. That is crazy. Wow. Damn. But anyway, that's what people will do instead of paying for college in America. because whew, it is it is expensive. If you go to like I'm going to a community college, so it's the closest thing you get to it's the closest thing you get to reasonably priced higher education in America. This is going shit. And it's still not exactly cheap. Like full universities, like depending are like, it's like, okay, you want to go here? That'll be like $60,000 a year, and it's like, oh, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, well, I see. That's like, I think that's part of the reason why America doesn't have free college is because there's just so many. It's like, okay, every state could probably have like one or two. They'd constantly be full, and there's, yeah. But anyway, it's really expensive, so that's how the military keeps its numbers up, is by being like, hey, you work for us for 4 years, and they are. It is very state based. Like, if I think about 80. I have a degree already, but I'm getting another one for reasons that are really complicated. They're not that complicated. I just don't want to talk about them. Not in a bad way. It's boring. Uh, but if I'm about 83% of the way to another one, like of the same level, of like the associates level, and if I was like, oh, I want to switch to UC Berkeley. That's the first college that came to mind. I would probably go down to like 50%, if not far less, complete. Like from like the 80 or so percent I'm at now, I would move down to probably 20 to 50% complete. Like, it is very state-based. Tuition is state-based. Like, it's a lot easier to think of like every state as its own country, and the U.S. government like the European Union. Like it's a lot like that most of the time. Where it's like, okay, like, you know, the state governments have yeah, there's a lot of parallels. And also, I think similar like land holdings overall, actually, between all of Europe and America. So it's not actually like an unreasonable comparison between the two. But in America, it's hard to think that way because it's like, well, you know, we're better than Europe, obviously. We're America. How could we ever be compared to Europe? It's America. We spent like 2 years in war to get away from them. And then we never signed any of their treaties, despite despite participating and, well, sometimes, and profiting from all of them. God bless America. Freedom, yep, Eagle Screech, yep, all that. It's very important. It's like if you've ever seen like any SFM shitpost where the soldier from TF2 is doing anything, it's just like that constantly when talking about America. Half in jest, half not. It's really impressive. Like, so many people do it in jest that some people do it like ironically, and the people who do it as a joke do it because people do it unironically. Ah, what a country. We named like one of our colleges at UC Berkeley actually found almost an entire row of the periodic table by themselves with just millions of dollars. Yeah, UC Berkeley found like 9 elements, I think. I watched a whole video about like the race for finding elements back in like the 40s through 90s. It's actually technically still going, but like, well, you know, I think finding any element, any new element, beats 99.9% of the population. Like, I think, let's see, uranium was the last natural element. So every single element after uranium was found by someone shooting something in a particle accelerator with something else. Like, just every single one after that, which is always makes it fun to like look at old periodic tables where you're like, man, we found all of those. Like, but anyway, only like 3 countries on Earth have ever found elements. I think it was Japan, America, and Russia are the only countries to have ever found elements. Because they were the only ones to have the truly billions of dollars to throw at it. And I guess they were the only ones who were like, yeah, let's use our science budgets to find elements that will be mostly unhelpful forever. Because they exist for like millionths of a second. I don't know how that would be helpful. Some of them have ended up being helpful, actually. Some cancer treatments are made from are made from elements found during the great element hunt. Oh god. Dord. I can't believe it. There I was, racing, and then I got doored. Mangle, a character who's never been in a game that has a door before. Like, has literally never been foiled by a door, because they didn't exist. Well, I guess FNAF 2's build Ultimate Custom Night. Oh. I don't count Ultimate Custom Night. Okay. Who counts what is it like it's pretty commonly believed that it's supposed to be like purgatory for Afton, right? Like that's like the yeah, but could you oh, vent repair. Well, anyway, not a door like that. Not a door that has power. Damn, now I have to come up with... Now I have to cherry pick my evidence so that my theory holds true. I've learned from the greatest theorists on YouTube. Game theory... Oh, damn it. Why no cupcake? Look, I'm one of those people where if you gave me enough time, I could name almost every animatronic from FNAF 1 onwards with pretty consistent accuracy. So, yeah, no, I'm right there, man. I'm right there with you. Like, I know it's not, like, tough to name all of them, because it's like, okay, well, you know, you have Funtime Fox, you got Freddy, you got Withered Freddy, Toy Freddy, Golden Freddy, Withered Golden Freddy, although that's technically the same character, Phantom Freddy, Nightmare Freddy, Nightmare Fredbear, Nightmare, Funtime Freddy, we're going through all the games. What's after Pizzeria Sim? Okay, that doesn't, those, they barely count. Let's see, Pizzeria Sim then would have Rockstar Freddy, Molten Freddy, Lefty, technically a puppet, but also a Freddy. Ned Bear, he's a classic. who else is in there? And then after that, you have Ultimate Custom Night doesn't have any new characters. Then I guess you're just into the Glamrocks? It'll just be like Glamrock Freddy would be last. I was thinking of too many Freddys. I couldn't pay attention to this Freddy Fazbear race game. Oh, goddamn. Yeah. Yeah, FNAF 6, it's like going through all of them is really tough. Oh, yeah. Is that what he's from? Oh. Every now and again, people will, like, I'll see pictures of him on the subreddit. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, are you guys all okay? Did I miss something? Is this a book character I'm missing? I know it is a book character, but also, like, are we using renders of book characters as, like, canon things now? Yeah, I think he was one of the Fazbear Frights characters. Well, I think that's where the original idea came from. I read the first Fazbear Frights book, got the second, and never read it. Fetch is just sitting on my bookshelf. Like, I read the first one, I was like, yeah, this is fine, I guess. Like, I was never huge into Goosebumps. I've only recently started liking short stories very much. Otherwise, like, I'm fine with them, but I get really distracted normally, so when it's a bunch of, like, oh, he made recaps. I've never really watched Daco. I find him kind of annoying. I appreciate his work and ethic and the fact that he's the one who does the Scott Cawthon interviews, but I find him kind of annoying. Yeah, Into the Pit's the only one I've ever read, and it was like, okay, yeah, this is fine, I guess. Like, I don't know. I kind of want to play the Into the Pit game, though. I've heard that's really good. So, that's on there. That's on my list. Oh, god damn it. Where are my moderators when I need them? I've got like 2, and I don't know where the one who was watching went, if he's still here or not. I have no idea. I have not watched any playthroughs of it because I want to play it. I know cheap viewers on. It's good to know that bots still know I'm here. Because, man, I had like a huge dry spell of bots, and while that was great, it's also like, oh, like, am I so, like, does no one care enough that even the bots don't know I'm here? Aw, fuck. That's so rough. Like, oh, shit. Here we go. I'm too aggressive on battery. Oh, no. I've been talking to a bot the whole time. How could I be so foolish as to believe someone would watch my Twitch streams? God, Endo's so loud. Go, go, go. Go, Mango, go. Go, Foxy, go. Oh. You know, I've never, like every now and again, I'll talk to my parents, and they'll be talking about something they've, like, written. Oh, damn. I've run out of GPT juice. I've never used it, is essentially the point of that story. Like, I know a lot of people who have, and I was taking a programming class. One of my classmates had figured something out that none of us could figure out, and he used ChatGPT to do it. It's like, okay, like, I can see the value, but also I don't want to. Ah, lap 5. Ah, shit. That's fair. I think that's what most people use it for, really. Well, actually, no, a lot of people use it for, like, actual things. also fair. You know, I once took a class on Excel, and I couldn't tell you how to use Excel anymore. I took a class in actually like every single program in the Microsoft Office suite, and well, I was made to. I wouldn't have taken them if I had the choice, but damn, do I not like? I'll be looking at it. It's like, how do I? Like, I literally took a class on this, and I have no idea how to use these anymore. So that does seem actually pretty helpful. I just don't use Excel. I have very few things to use spreadsheets on. Maybe if I decide to put a lot of time into it, I could like kind of like look at. God, it would be so nice if this game showed you individual lap times. That is one thing I do wish for eventually with this game. Individual lap times. 'Cause for all I know, I've gotten like... Yeah, like that's what I was thinking. It's like, oh, you know, I could kind of like... You know, figure out like sort of how every lap's doing. You know, use it for good things. But I can't see individual laps, and I don't have... And it would take too much effort to set up live split, because it would take any effort at all. So you know, I wonder if the no major, because I was just thinking about it. It's like, man, the person who had world record for lap in this track, I don't remember their name right now. But it was really impressive. Like, I've looked at it, and it's so impressive. It's like, would their like truly amazing performance be beaten out by someone who used the lap skip glitch? Like, because they use like forest skip and all that. Like, are those major glitches in skips? Am I technically doing skipless right now? Like, I guess we'll just have to see. Because in theory, every single lap done using the like race, like the whole fucking skip glitch, is going to do better than anyone doing anything, even the greatest that's ever been done without it. Yeah, yeah. Bro, I'm getting endoed so much. I need to work on that. Although, to be fair, the free battery from getting endoed's pretty cool. Oh. Damn, that... Getting stuck off the side there, and oh man, nothing feels quite as bad as missing a drift. It feels just so bad to be like, oh man, I'm gonna get this sick drift, and then you're just like, oh, never mind. Wow, I think this is really bad. I'm doing really bad. Like, by this point, this is probably like a 4, like 20 or something. Oh, that was worse. Oh, salt in the wound. I was already doing bad enough. I didn't need to be reminded how badly I was doing. Look at that, 422. Wow. Damn. I'm really hoping I can get a sub 4. I mean, I will at some point, but You know, the last two games I'd ever tried to speedrun, the like a good like first time was like 20 minutes. And it's like, okay, I'm fine with that, but it is so, I don't know. I much prefer the like a bad time for me is like less than 4.5 minutes, because that's not very long. Like, it's been almost 2.5 hours, which means I could easily get. I've probably gotten like 30 runs done. Oh, that was rough. Whereas if this were a 20-minute game, I'd be at like 6, you know? So it's like I can get a lot more runs done. It's a lot easier to kind of tell what I'm doing wrong in a shorter game as well. Because I'm not like, okay, you know, is it just minor inefficiencies building up everywhere? In this, I know it's minor inefficiencies building up just everywhere. That's endo on me. Yep. Should be fine. Shh, never mind, never mind, never mind. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Oh, though, that damn magnet user stealing all my battery. Damn you, whoever you were. Anyway, I hope no major glitches and skips is this. Because, well, I'd still probably be in, like, 10th place or something. Minimum. Or max. How does that work? I would be 10th or lower is what I'm trying to say. But, you know, this is like most of the games I was like, okay, I'll speedrun this. Their glitches were so time saving that it was ridiculous not to use them. Whereas in this, it's like, okay, like, you can still get a reasonable, good run in using no skips. Like, my best time with skips being 15 seconds slower than, or faster than the one where it's like, okay, I'm not using these, like, super hardcore skips is crazy. Damn. Oh man, missing that battery is rough. I know I've said that every time I've missed it, but it's true every time. Oh, oh, all of that was so bad. Yeah, I also had a long stretch of just not getting better times. Oh fuck, I'm fucking everything up. That's crazy. This will still be pretty okay. 410-ish is what I'm thinking. Oh, oh 06, okay. Fazbear Hills is tough. This is the map that... Oh, I don't know why that was so loud. This is the map that I felt like the most consistent on, the earliest. And that's fine. That's recoverable. All of that's recoverable. So that's kind of why I kept doing it. So I was like, okay, you know, I like this map a lot. I like its aesthetic. That, yeah, they're definitely interesting. Even when you know what you're doing, like, I've probably spent like 8 or more hours on this one track alone, and yeah, no, they're definitely a major point of failure. Yes, it was the whole thing to begin jumping. Like like with so many secondary mechanics in games that are like really helpful, it can be so hard to use them early on if they're like the thing that separates the game. Like in Hollow Knight, I was so bad at using spells. I still am not great, but I use them all the time now. Like it took me beating the game before I was like, oh, I should use spells. And to be fair, with Fazbear Hills as well, there's a lot of item RNG. Here, with there being one item box, item RNG is very low. Like, you don't really have to worry about NPCs getting items very often. Like, it almost doesn't matter what they get. It's not going to be a huge hindrance. Like, the battery... I mean, not the battery. The magnet's annoying because it steals battery, but it's good for you because you gain battery. But, like, I think this is the map with the most, like... mine is probably at about 13 with this stream included. But if you've been kind of switching back and forth between maps. I have been playing Midnight Motorist the whole time. Like, my Fazbear Hills and the Pit best times are truly abysmal. Like, they are the sort of run where you're like, oh, you know, I've, my cousin who's 2 did that sort of runs, you know, like, they are bad. Bad. It's like 4 minutes or something for both of them. It's really bad. That's fair. That's why I've been streaming. I find that I'm a lot more forgiving with my own fuck-ups when I'm streaming, because I can kind of be like... Because I can be thinking about things... Oh! Just barely sub 4. Because I can be thinking about things other than my time's not getting better, right? I can be thinking about... FNAF lore. I can be thinking about anything. So whenever I need to, like, grind something for any singular reason, I stream. Well, that was really good. I don't think that was any of those were like no best lap time or anything. Yeah, I've got 3 minutes and 4:42. Like, these are really bad. Yes. Yeah, I used to stream on, like, a laptop and stuff as well. I mean, yeah, it's definitely tough to not be able to, like, specifically talk, because that's kind of what helps so much, is I can kind of like get my mind off everything, and that I've always found that to be helpful. Like whenever I need to like do something I've done a lot, is it's like, okay, I've done this a lot. Sinkhole is a 420. It's still 22 seconds better than mine. That is a pretty large margin. Fazbear Hills is barely above 3, which I actually don't know anything. I don't like playing Fazbear Hills at all, so I don't. It's just that easy. Yeah, so that's 40 seconds faster. Like I just haven't played any other maps like at all. Let's see. New Midnight Motorists 5 lap world record? Or is that, because if that's 5 lap, I have a better 5 lap by like 30 seconds. Oh no, this is a single lap. Okay, never mind. Whew. Single lap of 32. What's my best single lap? Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah. Definitely best without the without the skip. Actually, I guess let me see. Like, is this skipless or what is this? It's a black screen. Okay, it's from game launch. Okay. They should have cut down this video a little bit, because they went all the way from game launch to. Damn, this is really impressive, actually. Okay, wow. Damn, they're keeping so much speed. Jesus Christ. Finishing the first lap at 2 p.m. is. Woo! I am usually like on the highway at 2 p.m. Midnight Motorist. That's. Wow. All right. That's really something. Well, I think with that, new personal best there, with no major glitches, no major skips, I think I will call it a day. Somewhere to be in like an hour or so. I should be responsible. Yeah. I'll stream at some point again. I don't know. Let me ban that bot real quick while I'm thinking about it. Ban. There we go. Okay. All right. Yep. I'll see you whenever you watch again. I'll stream again. I don't know. Saturday maybe. We'll see. Goodbye.